Hey everyone, and welcome. Today, we are diving deep into tackling dark spots using one of nature's most famous plants, aloe vera. We're going to cover everything from the science of why it works to the DIY of how you can make it yourself at home.
So let's just start with the biggest question on everyone's mind. You've probably got an aloe plant just sitting on your windowsill, but can that little succulent really do anything about something as stubborn as dark spots? Well, that's exactly what we're here to find out.
Okay, first things first, let's get the official term down. Those dark spots are technically called hyperpigmentation. I know it sounds super complicated, but it's really not. It's just your skin going a little overboard and producing too much melanin in a few places. It's incredibly common and usually totally harmless.
And what causes it? Well, a whole bunch of things, really. It could be from spending a little too much time in the sun, maybe it's a mark left over from a breakout, or it could even be from hormonal shifts like during pregnancy. It's a really relatable problem, which is why everyone's always looking for a good solution.
And that brings us right back to our leafy green friend. See, aloe vera's power isn't some kind of magic. It's just straight up chemistry. And the two main players you need to know are these compounds, aloin and aloosine. Think of them as the little engines inside the plant that could actually help lighten up those dark spots.
So let's break that down. First up is aloin. Based on what researchers have seen in animal studies, aloin acts kind of like a tiny demolition crew. It goes in and helps break down the melanin that's already there, the stuff that's causing the spot in the first place. And then you've got its partner, allicin. Now, if aloin is the demolition crew, allicin is like the security guard. What it does, according to cell studies, is it helps block the enzyme that actually makes new melanin. So it's all about preventing new spots from even showing up. So the big question is, does this work on people? Well, there was a study back in 2002 that looked at hyperpigmentation caused by UV light. It found that allicin, especially when they paired it with another ingredient, showed some pretty significant results. Now, the research is still a bit limited, but this is a really promising peek at what's possible.
All right, so that's the science lesson. Now for the really fun part. Let's get our hands dirty and turn all that theory into something you can actually use. We're going to walk through two different ways you can make your very own aloe vera soap at home. And you've basically got two roads you can take here. On one side, you have melt and pour. This is your easy on-ramp. It's quick, it's simple, and you don't have to handle any intense chemicals. On the other side, you have cold process. This is for the serious crafter, the person who wants to control every single thing that goes into their soap right from scratch.
Let's start with the easy one, melt and pour. If you've ever wanted to dip your toes into soap making but felt kind of intimidated, this is your moment. It is so straightforward, and you end up with amazing, ready-to-use soap in just a couple of hours.
And the process really is as easy as it sounds. You just chop up a soap base that's already made, you gently melt it down, and then you stir in all your fun stuff. This is where you'd add fresh aloe gel, maybe a little turmeric for color, or some essential oils for scent. Then you just pour it into a mold, and a couple hours later, bam, you've got homemade soap.
Okay, you ready to level up? Let's talk about the cold process method. This is making soap the old-fashioned way. You're actually creating the chemical reaction yourself. It gives you total freedom to customize everything. But it also comes with some very serious rules.
And before we even think about touching an ingredient, we have to talk about safety. I'm serious. Cold process soap involves a chemical called lye, which is extremely caustic. Your safety has to be, without a doubt, your #1 priority. This is non-negotiable.
And this is what safety looks like. We're talking real splash-proof goggles. Gloves are a must. Cover your skin with long sleeves and pants, and make sure you're in a space with plenty of airflow and absolutely no kids or pets anywhere near you. You have to treat your kitchen like a chemistry lab for this.
Okay, you got all your safety gear on? Good. Here's a look at a sample recipe. It's got a really nice mix of different oils, plus that fresh aloe gel. Now, the most important thing here, and I cannot stress this enough, is that every single ingredient, even the water, must be measured by weight using a digital scale, no cups or spoons.
So how does it work? Well, you'll start by carefully making your lye solution. Always add the lye to the water, never the other way around. Then you combine all your oils. Once both mixtures cool down to the right temperature, you mix them together. You'll use a stick blender until it gets thick to something soap makers call trace. It kind of looks like thin cake batter. After that, you just pour it in a mold and let it do its thing.
And now we play the waiting game. This right here might just be the hardest part of the whole process, being patient. Your soap has to sit and cure for 4 to 6 weeks. This lets all the excess water evaporate, and it makes the final bar of soap harder,
gentler on your skin, and way longer lasting. Trust me, it is so worth the wait.
So, we've gone pretty deep into what makes aloe so great, both in the lab and in your soap dish. But to give you the whole story, it's really important to know that aloe is just one tool in a much, much bigger skincare toolkit when it comes to hyperpigmentation.
Yeah, aloe is in some really good company. You've got other options, some you might even have in your kitchen right now, like apple cider vinegar, a green tea, and then there are the skincare superstars that you've probably heard of, like niacinamide, retinoids, and of course vitamin C. So while aloe is a fantastic natural choice, there's a whole world of ingredients out there to check out.
So there you have it. We went from a simple houseplant to the science of melanin, all the way to two totally different ways you can make your own soap. We've looked at the easy-breezy beginner path and the more advanced creative route. The only real question left is, which one are you going to try first?